Sorry. Back here checking on the stream. Just looking at everything around. Had a real big rain come through last night, or early this morning actually. Started raining about 3 a.m. Didn't stop raining until a little after 7 a.m. And it's got this stream running pretty high. Okay. See it flowing down that way. All the little side branches coming up or flowing into it too. So, yeah. I'm just standing here on these really slippery rocks. Watching the water flow downhill. No, this is not a green screen. Yes, the rocks are slippery. Yeah, it's just a tiny bit of water trickling out of that little side branch right now. I'm sure when it was raining it was flowing a lot more. Yeah, there's no fish or anything in this stream because it doesn't run year-round. This stream will go dry if it doesn't rain for a couple of months. And well, after about a month, it's down to just puddles here and there in the stream, wherever it catches in a rock or whatever. After about a month and a half to 2 months, those puddles are gone and it's completely dry. But there are little water bugs on it, like, I don't know if you can see the one right there. But yeah, the ground around here is about a foot thick of topsoil, and then 30 some odd feet of clay with a sandstone lip in the middle of that. Obviously some rock in it. When I was hand digging a well, first about 10 inches or so was the topsoil, and then I hit a clay layer. That went down about 3 feet, and then I hit sandstone. Sandstone right at that spot was about 18 inches thick, and then below that got into a yellow clay, which was fairly soft and easy to dig through. But below that yellow clay it got into a red clay, and that red clay was thick and hard and a pain in the butt to dig through, and it went down a good 20 feet thick. And beyond that red clay, started getting into what looked like a slate layer. It was kind of a grayish, almost had a tint of blue to it, but it was hard and would flake off as I tried to drill through it with, hand drilling the well. But once I soaked water into it, it would absorb that water and I could drill through it a bit. So I would dump water in it, let it sit overnight. Next day I'd get about a foot deeper, and was doing that for a while. Got down to about 34 feet with that well, and was getting just a little bit of water seeping into the well, but not enough to really do anything with. And then I accidentally kicked a 2x4 in the well. I was using a 2x4 to across the top to brace the hand drill I was using, and I bumped it and dropped it right down the well. So I let it sit for a couple of years, and I'm trying again for the last few days to drill that well out, and I'm back down to about the 30-foot point on it because some of that clay had sloughed off in there, so I got to pull all that out. I haven't really hit the slate yet, but we'll see. But my point in saying all that was that the water around, or the land around here will, that topsoil will hold on to the water for a while, and it just gradually seeps out of the ground into this stream and flows downhill. So, you know, this is all runoff from the rain, but this is all just the ground being overly saturated and it seeping into the stream from there. Yeah, if we walk uphill, upstream, I mean, we'll find that it gets less and less and less, and is just basically just comes out of the ground. Dead tree right here. Something's been digging around it. Right here where all this brush pile is, there was a giant red oak that fell. A little bit bigger than the red oak that's right there. And I cut the trunk out of it and took it up front. Figured I'd use it for a saw log, but I haven't been able to get it to a sawmill yet, and that's been 2 years, so at this point I'm just cutting it up for firewood. I've been cutting pieces off of it and splitting it for firewood. So anyways, we get up to this point though, and you can see the bottom of the stream. We're not much further from where we were with all the rock puddles and stuff, just on the other side of that brush pile. But right here, there's 2 different spots where water flows in. One from here, which goes up into my pasture area, and one from here, which again, my pasture area, and then crosses over into the neighbor's pasture. And it just, you know, it's got water sitting in it, and all the ground around it is really saturated. I'm going to jump over here. I know it's going to be soggy. I'm going to get my boots muddy. But yeah, it's soggy. And here's a spot where my horses have kind of dug out a bit of a, almost like a wallow, but they've been scraping the ground clean here and rolling. You know, it's protected by all the trees and whatever, but they've made such a divot here that it's filled up with water. So let's see. Yeah, more mushrooms right there. That one broke off and flipped over. A red mushroom there that almost looks like something was chewing on it. Red top. Yeah, I don't know what was eating that one. But you can see in there, there's the stream, and there's spots where it kind of looks like well, I guess it's just flowing around that little berm of dirt there, but yeah. Well, anyways, for now anyways, there's enough water for the horses, but as long as it rains every month or so, there'll be plenty. But once the rains stop for a couple months, this will be dry, and then I'll have to start hauling water. And then when I get tired of hauling water to them, then I'll just move them up front where I got a pond. But yeah, back across this way, sunken in the mud. Lots Lots of mushrooms out today after that storm this morning. Lots of mushrooms. I have no idea what kinds, if they're edible, if they're not edible. Looks like some of the little critters back here in the forest have been eating some of them. Got a little pool of water there, and it's just trickling out of it down little steps. All right.